Okay, y'all. Looky here, looky here, looky here. Thank you so much for another episode of Kink and Tell with Chantel the Gym. So, let's get into it. And I'm sorry for the dramatic entrance, but your girl is kind of a big deal. So I am, moving around like I am. Ooh. Enchante. Okay, so let's get into today's episode. I do have a couple of things that I want to just kind of like put out there into the universe before we get into today's topic. But first off, thank you for being here. Okay, let's keep it 100. I appreciate all the people who watch me and listen to me and value what I have to say. I know so much, y'all. I am one of those people that have all the information about everything for real because I look into things that even slightly interest me to see if I want to go forward. So, this platform for me is one of my babies. Now, you guys know how I feel about that. I'm just so happy to be here and talk to you. So, wrap that up with a bow. First things first, let me tell y'all about a story. Okay. That happened on today. Okay. I don't know why I did like this dramatic entrance, but with the story, but your girl almost died today. Another dramatic part, I'm a Gemini. Leave me alone. Okay, so your girl looks like a whole charcuterie board. We'll get into why. But I do want to talk about how I almost died today. And the only reason why I'm adding this to today's topic is because it has nothing to do with it. But it's very important for people to hear how ADHD affects people in the, more serious sense of things. Now, of course, my attention gets, squirrel all the time, right? But I want to talk about how that's dangerous sometimes because we don't talk about it. Something that people don't talk about. And today I almost died. Okay. My chair was like, and yeah. Almost died. So, let's talk about it. I was in the midst of me becoming, okay, this image that you see here, okay. And if you're listening to me and can't see me, your girl looks delectable, okay. And I was in the midst of getting myself together, and looking like a CEO of a lingerie brand, okay. And I was in the mirror, doing an eyebrow or something, which we're not gonna get on that. ADHD. And I smelled burning, right? Now, pause here. Before this, in my midst of taking a shower, working out, doing all that stuff this morning, I threw my dirty clothes, right, down the steps. Because I was like, take it down the stairs. I'm going to do my laundry today. The only way I'm going to do it and make sure I do it is if I force it down the steps. So I threw it down the steps. Okay. Now, this is not smart Chantel that would have made sure it was in a laundry bag or in a basket or something and just tossed it down the steps. No, this is chaotic Chantel that was like, and it's on the ground, throw it down the steps. So I have laundry over my steps. It's very much so a fire hazard, and I'm not telling you to do this. But this is what happened, okay? So I have clothes over my steps that I am telling myself that I need to do. Now, between then, I'm like, well, I need to get ready. Okay, I want to get dressed for the day. So, go back a little bit further. Before the laundry was even on the steps, I had put on ginger tea. Now, I'm a holistic spiritual being, so my ginger tea doesn't come from tea bags. It comes from a ginger root boiled in a pot with clove and lemon. It was going to be tasty. I was going to be in sweatpants and a t-shirt, sipping on ginger tea. Okay, working on my lingerie business because that is what we do most days now. Okay, so that was the plan. But then I was like, this is me. This is my brain, y'all. Keep up. So I put on ginger tea. I'm like, a big pot, right? So I'm like, I can put this on simmer, go upstairs, throw on some, sweatpants and a t-shirt, come right back downstairs and, be ready for when it's done. Okay, now in the midst of that, I come upstairs and I'm like, need to do laundry, going downstairs. So I throw my laundry on the steps. Okay, now you guys are with me? So I throw my laundry on the steps. Now I'm supposed to be putting on t-shirt and, sweatpants to chill around my house and do work because that is what I look like on a daily basis. Okay. Well, while I'm looking for the sweatpants that I want to put on, my brain goes, oh shit, you didn't record your podcast yesterday. Instead, I went to go donate, you know, plasma and blood and, whatever. Um, so I was not home yesterday. So I went to go do that and didn't record my podcast like I should have on Monday. Okay, so my brain now goes from one tunnel vision about sweatpants to it hops to another tunnel vision about the fact that I did not record this episode right here that I'm recording right now yesterday. Still with me, y'all? Keep up. Okay, so now I'm like, oh snaps. You need to look good for this video. What are you gonna wear? Now my brain is down this tunnel. Okay. What are you gonna wear? Okay, we hopped off, need to do podcasts. Now we're in a tangent tunnel about what we're gonna wear. Keep up with me. What we're gonna wear. Then I'm like, well, I don't want to wear this. I don't want to wear this. I want to wear this. I don't want to wear this. I'm going through it. Okay, y'all, because this was not my plan for today. Plan today was to talk to warehouses and get other things done. Okay, which I'm gonna do a little bit later, maybe, possibly, if not tomorrow. It's always another day. But there are things I have to get done today. So, including one of those things is this podcast. Why? Because I tell you guys that I'm going to be here Mondays and Thursdays, and your girl's been slipping. Okay? Been Tuesdays and Fridays, and, an occasional weekend. And, that's not what we do with my brand. So, this is important to me. So I am getting dressed. I'm in the mirror, fixing an eyebrow, getting, all this to look as great as it does. Okay. How to do all that. I'm extra. And I smell burning. Why do I smell burning, y'all? Because I didn't do the sweatpants and the t-shirt, and I forgot there was a pot on the stove. So I have clothes on my steps that I am legit hopping over, like step, 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 hop, hop, step, step, step. Like I'm hopping over clothes on my steps to get to the kitchen, to turn off the stove that I've now scorched the pot of. Because I literally almost, that's ADHD. That is what that looks like. That is one of the things that looks like. It also looks like overspending. It also looks like, creating messes and not having the mental capacity to clean it up. Y'all, if I made a trajectory, like a 360 of my office right now, this would still be looking pretty good, but that would kind of overshadow what I look like right now. And it's not horrible. It's just my horrible. Do you get what I'm saying? ADHD people also have a tendency of making piles of things because we are going to clean it. It's just our brain takes the piles or the big thing and makes it into separate big things, if that makes sense. But anyway, I like to talk about my ADHD as much as I can on here because Black women with ADHD is not something that is talked about enough for me. So, be the solution, not the problem. Anyway, y'all, 9 minutes in, okay? Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this may be one of those 30-minute episodes. I put on my glasses. This may be one of those 30-minute episodes. But I love you. Okay, we're gonna try to keep it short. But like I said, I gave, plasma yesterday, so your girl's kind of drained. So just stay with me. I promise it's gonna get good. It's gonna get real good. Okay. Now, I have decided that every episode I'm going to say an affirmation because affirmations are important to me. For the next couple of them, though, it may be the same one until I find another one that really speaks to me. So today's affirmation is the one that has been the affirmation for the last couple of days or the last couple episodes, which is I am in the timeline of my highest good, my deepest desires, and my ultimate fulfillment. Okay. I'm in the timeline of my highest good, my deepest desires, and my ultimate fulfillment. Big bet. Okay. I literally say that daily. Excuse me while I fix my wig. So yeah, big bet. Let's get on to what are we talking about today, Chantel? Well, no, actually, pause. Pause for the frame. Okay. I said I was going to talk to you about why I look like, a delectable charcuterie board. Okay. And I don't mean like one of those like charcuterie boards with like nuts and cheese, although those are also delicious. I am talking about the charcuterie boards with like the waffles and the chicken, and there's like syrup dripped all over everything. There's like, breakfast brunch type charcuterie board, like mimosas on the table type. I look good. Okay. I look delicious. And, I can say that about myself because I'm myself and self-love is important. So, anyway, with that being said, your girl looks this delectable because she is the owner of a lingerie brand. Now, I said this last time, but this time we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Why? Because I'm the owner. You're on my platform. You're going to hear about the things that I own. Why? Because if I don't talk about them, who will? Kind of a Black woman in America. Kind of got to make my own way. So, with that being said, the link is scrolling across the screen if you're watching me. If you're not watching me, it is www.theboudoirkink.com. And I mean the as in the boudoirkink.com. So www.boudoirkink.com. That is my other baby now. Okay, I have several babies now. That's my other one. That's my newborn. Okay. We specialize in lingerie from medium to 3X, toys of all different kinds and varieties. There's always things being added. I also have a complete luxury leather line, as well as like some other things that are coming in. Y'all just stay tuned because your girl is about that life. And with me being about that life, I know a little bit and a lot of bit about everything. Okay. In a past life, I was a dominatrix. In a past life. Okay. So I'm here about this. So with that being said, we are gonna go ahead and jump in today's episode. Now, today's episode has nothing to do with any of what I was talking about. Any of it. It's actually about zodiac signs and birth charts. Yeah. So we're just gonna switch on over to that because trying to tell you that is today's topic. How I went from lingerie and toys to zodiac and birth charts. The world would never know, but I am amazing, so I can do things like that. Okay. With that being said, y'all, don't mind me. My brain is a little bit all over the place, but I'm gonna try to keep this going as fluid as possible. We are at 14 minutes. I'm trying not to keep y'all too long. So, one thing that I want to go over is what is a birth chart, Chantel? What is a birth chart? Okay, let's give y'all the definition that we found to give you, and then I'm going to kind of sum it up. So, a birth chart is also known as a natal chart. This is true. It's a map of all the major planets and bodies, where they were at the time that you were born. Okay, so most people are aware of their sun sign. However, they are multiple aspects of your astrology governing your lives. All of the astral bodies were moving through different zodiac signs and houses at the time of your birth, and their positions will have different effects on your personality in life. That is so true. Okay, one of my pet peeves is when people put people in a box because of their sun sign, their zodiac. For instance, I am a Gemini. I do understand that people have a wide common thought process when it comes to Geminis, that we are two-faced of some kind. However, my duality has nothing to do with me being dishonest or unloyal or anything of that nature. I am actually just able to blend in with my different surroundings very easily. And I can see both sides of an issue without having to put myself through angst. That is what my duality is for. I don't use it for bad. I use it for good. So, when people bad talk like Aries and like their temper, oh my god, their temper. You know, whatever, like not all of the signs. There's levels to this, right? Like, I'm gonna do one of my aunties. There's levels to this. Okay. Don't put people in a box based off of their sun sign. Really gets under my skin, y'all. It really does. Now, with that being said, sorry, ADHD. With that being said, your moon sign actually determines your emotions and your inner self. Okay, so there's so many different parts of this that we can look at. And I'm gonna go through what each of the signs means. Not each of the signs. Like, I'm not going to go through all of the zodiac signs and tell you what they mean. I mean all the different places in your chart and what it means. Okay. Now I found my chart on justastrologythings.com. You put in your name, you put in your time of birth, you put in your place of birth, you time, place, date. You put in your birthday. And it comes up with the chart that tells you, you know, this is what you are, or this is what makes up your, inner workings. And if you haven't learned by now, I am a, you know student at heart, so I love learning new things. So this was definitely something I was on as soon as I found out it was a thing. I have known of my chart for a very, very, very long time, and it makes absolute sense once you get to know who I am. But we're not here about me. We're here about you. So if you want to pause this here and go to justastrologythings.com to pull up your chart, you're more than welcome to. And I will go through every, not the entire chart, but the major aspects with you. It also does explain all of this on Just Astrology, which is the reason why I tell people to go there. Oh, look, it's 2:22. It's 2:22 p.m. here in Columbus, Ohio. It's 2:22. Okay, anyway. So the reason why I tell people to go here first is because it actually does a breakdown and goes through it with you. Now, there's YouTube videos all over the wazoo about the different aspects and what that means. There's even one with a guy, and I actually kind of forget his name. I'm so sorry. If I remember, though, I will try to link him below. I'm not even going to promise that. I have ADHD. I'm probably not going to remember. But there is one with a guy on here who goes through each of the aspects and actually even pulls up celebrities that you may, that have that aspect, so you can kind of have somebody to identify with. I like his content. So eventually, if I remember, I will tag him below, or, something, comment him or something. Just so you guys can know who I'm talking about. But with this being said, so the sun sign is pretty much your outer symbol. So, sorry, I'm looking at mine, and I always get so fascinated with how right it is. So the sun sign is more so known as, like, on the overall above table, above board, who are you? Okay, how do you interact? Okay. Your moon sign is your moods and your emotions. It determines your inner self and, like, your soul and what you need to feel emotionally secure. Okay. It controls what goes on below the surface of your personality. So your sun sign is more so personality aspects, and then under there's a moon that is like under the surface of it all. This is who I am. Right? So sun sign is face value, moon sign is you really get to know me. This is who I am. Okay? Then we have I'm trying to think, what do I want to go to next? You want to do Mercury next? Let's do your Mercury next. So your Mercury rules your expression and how you communicate. Okay? It tells us how we process the information, how we think, and how we learn. Okay? It governs the way that you prefer communication, whether you prefer big or small groups of people, yada, yada, yada. So that's your Mercury. That's what your Mercury decides. Your Venus rules your love and relationship, right? Obviously, Venus. So your Venus sign determines how you feel and give and love in both romance and friendships. It also influences what you find beautiful. Okay. Let's see. Your Mars sign represents your deep primal energy, right? Is assertive, driving force behind your actions and defines your instincts, aggression, and sexuality. Okay. Um, your Saturn represents your limitations, delays, fears, responsibilities, determines the challenges that we face in our lives that make us mature. It's associated with our career, self control, leadership. Um, it, forces you to build character and shows where you will be tested in your life. Okay, that's your Saturn. Okay, your Uranus represents change. It's associated with technology, innovation, discovery, guiding us to bring progressive change in all parts of our lives. Okay, Uranus moves very slowly, so an entire generation can share the same Uranus sign, which I believe we do. If I'm, I believe millennials Uranus is Capricorn. I will fact check that. Um, yeah, so I believe that Uranus, everybody's Uranus that is a millennial should be Capricorn. I'm double checking that as we speak. Give me 2.5. Yeah. Um yeah, we're all born with Uranus and Neptune and Capricorn. Yeah. So um that is why so many of us, okay, little tangent here. That is the reason why there is such a big influx of people wanting to start their own businesses and people who no longer want to, abide by the capitalist system of, clocking in for someone else. Because Uranus is in Capricorn, and I can even go further because I have my chart pulled up, which is how I'm giving you guys this information. Um, so Uranus represents change, is associated with technology, innovation, and discovery, guiding us to bring progressive change in all parts of our lives. Uranus moves very slowly, so an entire generation can share the same Uranus sign, which we do. If you are a millennial, if not, then it's fine. No shade, just for the millennials. This is for us. Let me talk to you real quick. This planet breaks tradition and brings us into future. Capricorn Uranus is enterprising and ambitious. They may be very responsible and serious. Their unique business ideas will bring them success, especially in the aerial and electrical fields. They may be eccentric, erratic, stubborn, or quarrelsome. This sign might endure deep sorrow and trouble if they are not careful. Tangent on the, look up the rates of depression and suicide. Um, and people with anxiety. I think I even said this on a different episode that the levels of mental anxiety are at an all-time high. And it's actually the highest of any mental illness, any, in the history of mankind. Any mental illness is the highest it has ever been, and it's anxiety. Okay. This sign might endure deep sorrow and trouble if they are not careful. They are inclined to frequent changes in their surroundings and employment. Okay. Frequent changes in their surroundings and employment. Okay. I can't tell you how many people, um, are nomads, or don't subscribe to that idea of having the same 9 to 5 for 7 to 8 to 10 to 12 to 20 years. That day of I've been with the same company for 25 years is not really something that we and I am speaking for a big group of us. I'm not saying all of us, but it's not something we really subscribe to. Why? Because we saw the generations before us, subscribe to a company for 25, 45 fucking years and get literally nothing, um, as much as a fucking thank you basket or be able to take mental health days off and work their, tails to the bone to not really get where they wanted to in life. Yeah, no, we are the grandchildren, the children, okay, not the childs, the children of the generation that worked their ass to the bone and got very little out of it. So when you're telling a child of a parent, I'm gonna even take my glasses off for this because someone needs to hear this apparently. When you're telling a child of a parent, that a child that had a parent that they saw, okay, front row seat, worked their asses to the bone, got fired for taking a mental health day, got fired because their kid was in the hospital, got, reprimanded, got, belittled. Like we hear the conversations. We were front row seats, like in front row seats of watching our parents and our grandparents talk about how it was on the job that day. Missing, recitals and baseball and whatever because their job wouldn't allow them the time to be with their family. This is that generation. We are the people. Okay. And I'm actually pretty proud of this, and you may or may not be, but I am very proud of how hard my mom worked. And me being there to see how hard she worked. I get any kind of ambition that I have in my bones from my mother. She was a single mom and she held it all the way the hell down. Now, do we see eye to eye on everything? No, but my mother is my mother and I love her absolutely to pieces. Um, However, she is also, who she is. So I have to give her some grace, and know when we can and when we just can't, coexist. But with that being said though, I watched my mom put in hours and hours and hours to jobs, years to jobs that didn't care about her at all. Didn't care about her well-being, didn't care about what she wanted or anything out of life. They just wanted her there and they wanted her to work. And when I first started working, my mom got me prepared to, be able to be, indisposable to companies because she knew how it was. My mom taught me from a very young age how to ace an interview, how to make my resume, how to, find resources. Like I have all of that in me because my mom wanted me to be okay because she knew how it was in these streets, right? So with that being said, our generation is the generation that saw grandpa and grandma retire with like this much money coming in. Like the people who were actually comfortable and able to like enjoy their lives were up here. We were watching them. We were watching them on social media. We were seeing all of the glitz and the glam that were out there. And yet we were sitting here watching our mom and our grandpa and our grandmother all struggle. So this is that generation that was like, nah, ain't gonna be me. Mm-mm. You want to know the reason why? And I am tangenting and I'm aware of this, okay? You want to know the reason why statements like, you're the generational curse breaker, or you're the one who was born to break your generational curses is so popular because it applies to an entire fucking generation. We are that generation as a whole. So, of course, things like little memes and things that are like, you are the one who is here to break generational curses, to, put a different, thought process into the ones after you, like that kind of thing, like that is popular now. Why? Because it affects an entire generation. We are all here for that purpose. Anywho, rerouting myself back to the topic. So anyway, let's keep going. So your Neptune, okay. I'm so extra. So your Neptune rules your dreams, imagination, and visions. It moves slowly, so it's known as a generational planet. Obviously, I just said this. Neptune for us is also in Capricorn. So not only are we, you know, out here getting it, but we're also dreaming of big things to happen. Like this generation of 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, having 5-figure, 8-figure businesses or whatever is a thing. Why? Because Neptune and Capricorn. Uranus and Capricorn. Capricorn is the go-getter. Capricorn is the, okay, I'm about my money. Okay. I hear money back, yo. Okay. Um, and then Pluto. Pluto reveals the part of our lives where we face an intense powers of creation and destruction. It represents endings and new beginnings, as well as rebirth, spiritual growth, and control issues. Okay. So um anything that um you're unconscious about. So the unconscious parts of spirit, self, and primal energy are hidden within us. And it is a generational planet. Okay. So another one, y'all. Pluto is in Scorpio. Okay. Um, we are the generation that made, LGBTQIA not a phobia or a pariah type thing. Everybody's sexually fluid now, right? Um, Also to say that, we have the tough conversations about mental health. We are the one, bring it to the forefront about um needing our work days. That job don't care about you, sis. Take that day off. Like this is that generation. Why? Pluto and Scorpio, Neptune and Capricorn, Uranus and Capricorn. Okay. Pluto goes beneath the surface in a secretive and intense way with matters concerning sex, states of mind, the studies, and death. Okay. Obsession with areas relating to genetic engineering, creating and destroying life. Okay. Cloning, things of that nature. So this is that generation. Okay. Um, Makes sense, don't it? Now, I do provide a service. Okay, this is not a very widespread thing because I stopped doing it a while ago, but I will open it up to those who listen to my podcast. I provide a service where I will help you find your chart if you need some guidance on where to find it. And if you want some help with understanding what it means for you, I'm more than happy to do that too. Okay? Here's the thing. Wigs, y'all. Swoop. Here's the thing. This information is available for you online for free. So earlier I said just go to justastrologythings.com and you'll find it. Now, if you ask me to help you, because of who I am, it's going to be a little bit of a penny. Okay, not a lot of a penny, a little bit of a penny. Because now I'm going to have to take time away from Boudoir Kink, okay, Soul Sisters COL, therapy sessions, um, this podcast, gym merch. Like I'm gonna have to take my time away from those things that make me money to help you with something. So you also have to be something that makes me money. That makes sense? Not personal. Not because, I feel like, you're not worth me doing it for free. You're very much so worth me doing it for free, but I won't because we charge our price and we add tax. Because of who I am growing into as a woman, I don't do things for free. So I love you very much, but I will help you only if you understand that it's going to come with a fee. Love you. Um, with that being said, so um Zodiac signs, birth charts. So hopefully that helped you guys. 30-minute, 40-minute show. It's like 35 minutes now on the clock. I am available on Instagram, Facebook. Your girl got this podcast now on Apple Music. Girl been doing it big, okay? Vogue moment. I am also available on any of my websites. You have the Boudoir Kink, boudoirkink.com. We have the gymmerch.com from any t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants. I think there's even leggings, mugs, wine tumblers, you name it. I'm beach towels, all of that on there. And like I said, Boudoir Kink is for plus size lingerie up to 3X. Heavy top. Okay, you got a little extra up here. I got you. Obviously being of the community of, Tata, plus and then I am my lingerie is also available for that. So I also have some kink things, some BDSM things, you name it, and I'm always adding. So y'all, I'm gonna leave this off on a congratulations for myself, because I don't take enough time to actually revel in my accomplishments, and I want to include you all in it. So cheers. This is an 18 and up podcast. 20 and up. I am 21 and up only. This is grape juice. Okay? This is grape juice. Don't ban me. This is grape juice. Okay. I am very proud of myself for not only opening my lingerie store and toy store, but also talking to warehouses, getting licenses in different states I've never even stepped into. Starting school next week. What? Black woman entrepreneurial, like fully paid for. What? Cornell University? I am in there. Like, there's so many different things happening with me, y'all. And I'm just so thankful and so blessed, so happy about all the growth that is happening and all the success that is coming. This is for what's coming and what's here. And thank you all for being a part. I love you all so much. You actually have to sip after the toast or it doesn't work, right? Anyway, thank you all for being a part. I love you so much. If you need me, find me on any of the platforms I named: Facebook, Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor. Your girl is out here. Okay. Not to mention my own websites, which you can find on any of the other platforms. I'm out here. And it feels great to be seen. So I love you all very much. With that being said, I will talk to you guys soon. Mwah. Have a good one.